Hi, dear students of class 8. Welcome in this online class. I hope that you are staying safe at your home. Today we are going to discuss about your first chapter, transport of minerals and food in the case of plants. In a smaller type of organism, like amoeba, this transport is taking place by simple process of diffusion. Simple process of diffusion. I will discuss you later about this diffusion. Then, in higher organism, so higher organism may be plants and animals also. There will be a transport system required because they are higher, therefore they are having major complexity levels, no? Therefore, for transport of these minerals and food and all these things is requiring a complete system by which it can be transported. Okay? Here, our aim is to discuss about how this transport is taking place in the case of plants. So we are going to discuss about transport system in plants. Transport system in plants. In this session, we will discuss how and what type of things are present in the plants by which these minerals and foods are getting translocated. So, plant translocation system consists two main. Number one is xylem. Number two is phloem. Okay, they two are present in the stem. They two are present in the stem as well as in the leaves, and in some of the cases, like the cases of dicot roots, in roots they are also present. My dear, this xylem consists components like vessels, tracheids, fibers, xylem fibers, and then xylem parenchyma. So we will discuss about this. This xylem vessels is having this kind of spiral type of thickenings. Spiral type of thickenings. They can be recognized by having a spiral type of thickenings. While tracheids are unique because they are having pointed ends and so many splits are there. Pores, you can say, splits are there. So I think you are very sure about these vessels and these tracheids, their shapes and all. Okay. Xylem fibers, they are providing support and this xylem parenchyma is providing nutrition to this particular xylem. Okay? Now, we are going to see the components which are present in the case of phloem. In the phloem, you can see there will be a sieve tube, then sieve plate, then phloem parenchyma. Phloem parenchyma. It can be said as companion cell also. Companion cells also. Okay? They are the component of phloem. Let us have a diagram by which we can show how these components are attached with these together. So this was the case of xylem here, and now we are going to discuss about the components which are present in the phloem. You can see this is phloem. Here, this is called sieve tube. Sieve tube. This is sieve plate. You can see it is not continuous. It is having several gaps. Sieve plate. And this one is phloem parenchyma. Okay. Now, our next step to study about the function of this xylem and phloem. So, you must remember this point that this xylem is meant for transport of water and minerals in the plant. Water and minerals in the plant. While this phloem is related with transport of food in the plant. Transport of food in the plants. Okay? So this is all about xylem and phloem that is present in the case of plants. Now our aim is to discuss how transport of minerals and water takes place in the plant. This was our main matter where we are going to discuss. So as I told you previously about the diffusion, I would like to discuss certain phenomena which are having their supporting role in the transport of minerals and water in the plant. Number one is diffusion. It is movement of gas or liquid from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Many of you are maybe confused about the term concentration. A very simple type of definition can be given for this concentration. Concentration means number of atoms or molecules in a given volume. If the number of molecules in a given volume greater, then greater concentration. If less, then lower concentration. On the basis of this only, in chemistry, you are telling a solution as a concentrate or dilute. Okay? So this diffusion is the movement of gases and liquid from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Concentration means number of atoms or molecules present in a given volume. Let us have an activity by which we are showing this process of diffusion. Take some amount of TMNO4. TMNO4 is normally present in our lab is having brown color and dissolve in water very easily. So we are having water in a vessel and a very less amount of this potassium permanganate or KMnO4 we are keeping here. After few seconds, you will be able to see that the color of this solution is turning red. Very simply, you can see, you see this whole volume. Here only water is present and one corner of it having KMnO4. So, number of molecules are greater, so greater concentration will be there, and from greater concentration they are going to lower concentration. This is the phenomena of diffusion. Now the second way I would like to discuss with you is osmosis. Movement across a semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane, as you know, this membrane is having a unique property, and the property is this, that it allows very few materials to pass through it, not all the materials. Okay? So if movement is taking place across a semi-permeable membrane, this type of movement is known as osmosis. Okay? This is one of the most important factors by which transport of water and mineral is taking place in the case of plant. Then I would like to discuss active transport. Active transport. Here it is active, the term included active. So when a person is getting active, when he is having more energy, so if transport is taking place with the help of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, then this kind of transport is known as active type of transport. Okay? Now this particular thing is going to be very important because you are now going to understand about two very important processes which are happening when water is being translocated in the case of plants. So our question, how water is being translocated? How water is being translocated? For this, I would like to discuss two phenomena. Number one, root pressure. Root pressure. In the roots, you can see so many minerals are present in the soil, and these minerals which are present in the soil will be accumulated in the root. Therefore, in the root, mineral concentration became higher because water is also present, no, and mineral is also present. So water plus mineral, therefore concentration became higher, and water potential became less. Whenever you are mixing any type of solute in the water, no, then any type of solution, if you are mixing some solutes, definitely its potential will be less because of mixing. Therefore, what happened? Water potential here became less. And what is happening with the water around it? The water that is present around it. Here no mineral is mixed. Therefore, water potential is high. Therefore, from higher water potential, now water will move into the root. Now water will move into the root. Okay? This is called root pressure. This is called root pressure. And that is one of the most important thing that you never miss, and is this: root pressure is always getting developed in the xylem, not in phloem. Root pressure always developing into the xylem, not in the phloem. You always remember this. This is very important. Okay? Secondly, so this is the water that is going inside from outside because of root pressure. And because of this root pressure, this water will be pushed up into the plant. Will be pushed up into the plant. I hope you are clear about this root pressure. The second thing, is transpiration pull. Transpiration pull. You know, loss of water in the form of vapor from the aerial part of the plant is known as transpiration. So, from these leaves, when water escapes out in the form of vapor, definitely some deficiency of water will occur there in the stem. Because of translocation of water, when water will be translocated outside, there will be deficiency of water in the stem. And this deficiency leads to develop a suction pressure. A suction pressure. So what happened? Here root pressure and secondly suction pressure. Root pressure and suction pressure. Because of these root and suction pressure, water is very forcibly moving to the aerial part of the plant. Again, what is transpiration pull? Nothing. When the water is getting translocated outside from the leaf, because of water deficiency, a suction pressure created in the stem is known as transpiration pull. a water deficiency occur in the stem in form of suction pressure is called transpiration pull. Is that clear? So by that way, water is being transported into the plants. Again, I would like to discuss the whole phenomena with the help of this diagram. You see, this is the root underground containing minerals together with water. Higher mineral, lower water potential. Outside this, simple water, lower minerals, thus higher water potential. So from higher region, water is moving into the root. Okay? Water is moving in the root. This is root pressure. This is root pressure. Because of this, now this root will push water into the stem. Water into the stem. And together with the stem, if a leaf is attached, when a leaf is attached, already it is attached, you know, and transpiration is taking place from here. So transpiration means loss of water. So water deficiency will be there. Water deficiency will be there. Therefore, a suction pressure developed. A suction pressure developed. It will suck the water. So here what happened? Already a root, because of root pressure, some water is going in, and because of this suction pressure, again this water is being pushed back. And therefore, water will reach to the aerial part of the plants. So in this session, we have discussed about the xylem and phloem, it means transport system of the plants. And then we have discussed several phenomena, especially root pressure and transpiration pull, and we came to know how water is being translocated into the plants. In the next session, I will discuss about the transpiration, about the the factors which are affecting, and in the last about the minerals. Till then, thank you very much. Keep watching the video.